On Tuesday, February the 24th, 1953, the Cathedral of St Giles in Edinburgh became the setting for the union of the two families, Wotherspoon and Rankin. Alastair, the son of Mr Robert Wotherspoon of Westwood Inverness, was to take as his bride Patricia, daughter of Mr Graham Rankin of Mayfield House, Edinburgh. Soon after 2 o'clock, guests began to arrive at St Giles. Some had journeyed far to wish the young couple well on this, their wedding day. Earlier in the morning, the sky had been dull and overcast, but now the clouds drifted away and spring sunshine came through to brighten the happy scenes before the ceremony. The last guests made their way into the cathedral to take their places. The scene was almost set. And then, to delight the crowd, came the bridesmaids. Little Miss Rosamond Wicks, niece of the bride, and Miss Myrtle Frame, both wore long dresses of daffodil tulle. The spring flowers that decorated the church were echoed in the sprays carried by the elder bridesmaids. Miss Enid Glenn, Miss Meriel Marwick, cousin of the bride, and Miss Averil Wotherspoon, sister of the groom. Then came the bride, radiant and charming in the spring sunshine, dressed in a Victorian-style bridal gown of silver brocade with a wide train. A pearl and diamante tiara held in place a long, flowing tulle veil. With her father, she made her way into the great cathedral. Within St Giles, the simple service began. The Reverend William Stevenson performed the ceremony, and Mr Laurie Slay was best man. The service ended, and then from the cathedral stepped Alastair and Patricia as man and wife. The happy couple stood arm in arm, smiling at the people who had gathered outside the cathedral to wish luck to Mr and Mrs Wotherspoon. A few moments later, the young newlyweds got into their car to drive on to the reception. The two families stood chatting together as their children left St Giles for the Adams Rooms in George Street. The many guests left the cathedral and made their way to join the assembly in drinking a toast to the lifelong happiness of the pair. Even Rosamond and Myrtle had a sip. Then the 120 guests gathered round to watch another traditional part of every wedding day, the cutting of the cake. Bride and groom stood side by side and together made the first cut. Before the celebrations were over, came a session with the photographers. The bride and groom and their parents, the bridesmaids, and the best man posed together. So ended a day of joy and happiness, a day crowded with memories for all who were at St Giles on that sunny afternoon in spring. To the newly wedded couple, we make the age-old wish. May a long and very happy life be theirs.